On this episode of LARP Chats, I'll be interviewing Critias, one of Blackspire's up-and-coming fighters. At the time of this episode, he has 9 Orders of the Warriors, but you won't just hear about his fighting, he's a Paragon monk who loves his battle games too. You'll hear about some of his earliest Amtgard memories, from his first day to his first campout, and the one experience that really pushed him to improve his fighting. You'll also get to see him demonstrate his favorite shot. I invite you to like and subscribe to see featured LARP content. And now to the episode. Hello, and welcome to LARP Chats. I am your host, Bale Norn, and today our guest is Critias, also known as Critias the Prettiest. So where did you first hear about Amtgard?
I first heard about it on Facebook. My fiance and I were watching a movie called Role Models. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I haven't, but I'm well aware of the movie.
There's LARPing in that, and I'm like, man, I always thought that would be so much fun because I used to watch it with my brother, and we both we wanted to do that. And without me knowing, she looked up on Facebook for LARPing groups, and one of Silvermoon's, it wasn't a KLE, but it was like a big event. It was called Baron's Day. I think it was actually not the election day, but coronation for them. That popped up, so we attended that first, and that's when I first heard about it.
Nice. Well, do you remember who the Baron was at the time?
Yeah, it was, I don't recall his Amtgard name, but it was Cook.
Oh, Olaf Fatman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So how long ago was that?
That was 2016, I think.
Yeah, it's 2021 now. That's
5 years.
Yeah. Do you have any memories from the first day?
Not many. I have one, mainly because it was recorded. It was the first tournament I entered. They had a randomized weapon tournament where you pick a number from a hat, and that would choose your weapon set. And I remember I first got my first opponent ever in a tournament was Torg, and I'm pretty sure he had flow, and I got stuck with single sword and dagger. So. Oh
wow, that's not an easy matchup, especially your first
I got
day.
one kill though.
Oh, did you?
I did, but I think he was just being really nice because it was a super crazy chest shot. But I appreciate it anyway. You know, it made me feel good.
So what did you really enjoy when you started playing?
I think actually when I first joined, my thing that interested me the most was the class aspect of it. I liked just the idea of having different abilities that you could go out and use, and that you might have something that someone else doesn't, or you can have the same thing but be better at it, you know. So that really was something I enjoyed a lot at first. A little bit later on though, I just enjoyed the fighting aspect more of anything.
Yeah, that makes sense knowing you. What is your earliest memory about fighting that really hooked you? Because you're more known for your fighting now than for playing battle games, although you still play them and enjoy them and are pretty good at them.
My first memory, do you want the first thing I was proud of that wasn't a big accomplishment, or do you just want something where I was felt good about myself, you know?
Something that, yeah, just kind of felt good about and made you maybe I should try down the fighting path. The first memory that hooked you for the fighting.
I think that one was probably, I can't think of a specific time it happened, but I know there was at some point, because there was Torg, Vale, Bjorn, and a few other people that I can't recall that were the people I would look at okay, I need to beat these people, you know? And eventually, without me realizing it, I was winning more and more and more, and they would tell me about it. So that was kind of when I first started really enjoying the fighting part and wanting to pursue it more. I do have one specific memory of when I was line fighting with Kalzar, I think. And I was one of the few times I was using a shield, because in my first year I was specifically flow fighting just because. And someone went to sweep my leg with a pole, and I just lifted my foot up. I didn't do anything else, I just lifted the foot up and just went right under. And I remember as we were fighting, Kalzar was hey, that was really good job on that. I don't know why that stuck with me, but it did.
people don't think about moving their feet when they're polearm fighting or fighting a polearm very much.
To be fair, it probably wasn't the best move because I didn't do anything else, but
well.
just like lifting your foot, just like the thought process, you know.
So you said that you really liked the battle games when you first started.
Mm-hmm.
So is that what really kept you coming out for the first year, or was there something else about Empire that excited you?
I think, yeah, that was probably what kept me coming out for the first year and even a little bit afterwards. I still really enjoy them. It's just I don't enjoy them as much as I used to because I like to fight too much, I guess. And in battle games, it's easier for me to do strategic things than to just go head on and fight, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the first year, that was definitely what kept me coming out because I really enjoyed the monk class.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone kept telling me it was really bad and I wanted to prove them wrong. So I just like kept doing everything I could to like get better at that class. And that pushed me forward for a long time. I don't quite remember when I got my Paragon hood and that, but that was about the point where I was like okay with like taking it a little easier on battle games and stuff.
Do you have a memory about the first time you did something amazing with Monk and you was like, I have to do this. I have to go for my Paragon. Did you have a moment like that?
Oh boy. I don't think I have a specific one. I remember one early on. It was a pretty big battle game down at Eclipse. It was some KLE that we were doing, and I ran pole monk for like one of the first times. And someone had just shot like a stray arrow like at the beginning of the game, so it was like full field away, you know?
Yeah.
And it was coming down at our group, and I just kind of stuck the pole up and just somehow hit it. It tapped it, so I was like, hey, you know, that was kind of fun.
That sounds pretty epic.
Yeah, it was pure luck. Just pure luck.
Epic things usually are.
Yeah. But that was really fun. I also, I joined the Paragon Academy at one point.
Oh, yeah.
It was on Discord, and they would do like trials for stuff for like, to like recommend you for your Paragon hood. And one of the ones they gave me was go a full month of park days playing monk with just heavy throwing weapons and nothing else. And as agonizing as it was also super fun. And I don't know why it was fun. It was just like the idea of that's all I had. You know, if I run out, I'm kind of dead. So I got to make them count. But that was a lot of fun for monk. I don't know. I just enjoy that class a lot.
Yeah. There's something to say about limiting yourself, and it creates new opportunities to experiment with what you have.
Yeah.
I remember that you were really into the academy and trying the different trials and stuff.
Yeah, they were fun. They were a lot of fun. They were. It was cool to have like a different play style than what I normally would.
That was a really good idea. If you're watching this, I'm going to link the Discord for the Paragon Academy in the description if you want to look into it. It's a pretty interesting organization, and if you like battle games and you want to get better, it's a good place to go.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So, campouts. Do you remember your first campout?
So, the campouts that are at the same place kind of blend together for me a little bit. But I know that my first campout was Shattered Kingdoms because it was like a month or two after I joined, somewhere in there.
Okay.
I can't quite picture exactly what happened there, but I know I had a lot of fun, and it made me super excited to go back, and it's one of the reasons that I enjoy Shattered Kingdoms so much. Yeah, I wish I could tell you what it was, but everything just kind of runs together for me.
Well, are there any other Shattered Kingdoms or any other campout memories that you have that stick out?
Yeah.
Not necessarily the first.
For Shattered Kingdoms, I remember it was like a tournament the first day, and it was like a role-playing tournament. It wasn't like for warriors or anything. It was just like to see who was the best fighter there for like story purposes. And I didn't do as well as I wanted, but I did okay. And I remember like I don't remember if it was you or someone else, but they were passing out the dragon medallions.
Yes, that was me.
Okay. And I didn't think I was going to get one because like I didn't feel like I did good, and I ended up getting one, and I liked it so much and was like so proud of it that I have a tunic now that actually has it on the back of it. So that was really, really fun. Other campouts, one I remember very vividly because a lot of stuff happened was Winter Bash at Camp Riley. So that was
the military camp with that city, Camp Riley.
Yes.
Do you remember what year that was by chance?
Or
who was running it?
But I have an award that has the year on it, so I could probably figure it out. I don't quite remember though.
That's okay.
It was a year that it was when One Grind Nation came down.
Oh, okay. So the Calazar's knighting. Yeah.
Yeah. One Grind Nation came down. I got to learn from Delos, and I remember that sticking with me a lot. I learned like 2 shots. It was like a class he ran. And then on top of that, we had a tournament at that same one, and I remember I did super well, and I was like really proud of myself for like, I don't know what happened, it's just I did like super well. I didn't win or anything, I don't even think I placed, but I remember I did good enough to where I was happy, and that doesn't happen too often with me.
Oh yeah.
And then in that same camp out was when I got my Paragon hood. So a lot of stuff happened in that camp out, so it's very like vividly there for me.
That sounds like you had a great time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a good one.
Did you partake in any of the night culture by chance? Or is it mostly just fighting?
What do you mean by night culture?
The hanging out and socializing aspect. A lot of people have memories that are not about the game, but about the culture of being in the game.
Yeah, not specifically at that camp out, but the Winter Bash before like all the shutdown stuff happened, that was the dance party one with Master Kai running it.
Oh yes.
That, I had so much fun there, just like, because I'm not a very outgoing person. I'm pretty reserved, and I don't like to do that kind of stuff in public. But I did for some reason. I don't know. I felt comfortable, I guess. So I
did
danced.
pressure you into drinking a little bit.
That was after, whoa.
Oh, was it
yeah,
after?
Yeah, that was after. So I was like completely sober, and I was like, hey, I'm having fun, you know, just dancing with friends and stuff.
It's better to have fun when you're sober.
Yeah. And then after that is when I got drunk on, I had your beer first, and then I had Everclear and like Crystal Light, I think it was.
Ah, yes, Wally juice.
And that messed me up so bad. But I had a great time, and your Man-at-Arms and Farlanok took care of me that night.
I was very proud of Oswald for being so nice.
Yeah, for real. He deserves credit, because I'm not an easy person to deal with when I'm drunk. I'm not like mean or anything. I'm just a lot, you know.
Yeah, some people can get that way, and it's okay as long as you know your limits.
Yep.
What do you prefer? Battle, like regular practices, KLEs, or campouts?
Ooh. I would probably say, I think KLEs and campouts are kind of right there for me, because they both accomplish different things for me, and it's hard for me to pick one over the other. There's the interlap that they have is that there's a lot of people. I get to ditch in a big field, which I love. I love doing that. And I get outside people also to fight sometimes, or just people I don't see very often. So those are like the interlapping things. But campouts, I do enjoy questing. So especially at Shattered Kingdoms, because I feel like that's where it's best done. And then KLEs, I also get to like, I don't know, there's like an energy about KLEs that's just different that I really enjoy. But yeah, I don't think I could pick one over the other.
That's fair. Do you have any memories associated with KLEs?
I have one that's nothing was accomplished. It was just a goofy memory I have where...
Those are fun.
Yeah. There was a battle game they were running where you would roll a dice, and like they had numbers assigned to classes. And there was no re-rolls, so you get one roll. I rolled and I got monk. And this is after I had gotten my Paragon hood and everything. I'm like, all right. And he's like, you can re-roll since you play at class all the time. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. So I re-roll and I got monk again. So I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm like, all right, that's what we're doing, I guess. But that was fun. KLE-wise, I have such a bad memory.
That's okay. I had the same problem. Things just kind of bleed together.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem. It's like I can remember stuff, but I couldn't tell you where or when like stuff happened. Oh, one though was my first KLE. It was with you, Telly, and I forget his name. He was the newer guy, but we were on a team for a relic thing. Yeah. We ended up winning the Nuntius staff. That was my very first KLE.
Oh, okay.
So that was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I liked it too. What was the thing that you were first proud of in Amcard that you can remember?
I remember at Forest of Fido, there was a weapon master, war master, because there was a battle game afterwards, that I entered in and I won the open bracket. And I think I might have placed in like flow or something. It wasn't anything major, but I remember being like happy because I was like, that was when I was at like lower level, so I was happy with that. And like the tournament got over and they were like counting scores and stuff, and out of nowhere they're like, okay, we got the winners, Critias and Radagast. I'm like, there's no way. You know, I placed in one bracket and won the other. There's no way I'm in that. And they're like, no, it was such a scattered tournament from placing wise that was enough to get me at first place. Oh, wow. So that didn't really hit me until the ride back. I ended up winning the battle game too, so I got War Master that one. That was my first War Master that I won.
Oh yeah.
But on my way back home, I remember just being like, wow, I won a tournament. Another time though, and I think the time that I hold a little more higher than that is when I got my 7th order, I think it was. It was 7th or 8th. That was when I felt like I really actually won a tournament, you know, because I won like more than one bracket, or I would place in the bracket. Like I did really well, and that was the first time I did that. So I think I hold that one a little more higher just because I feel like I earned that one a little more, instead of having like the score so scattered that my, you know, small points added up to enough. So. Do
you remember which tournament that was?
I believe that was at Silvermoon, actually.
Oh, okay.
2019, 2018? It might have been 2018.
You were talking about the camp out with Delos in Wandering Guide Nation coming down. And it stuck up because you got Delos to teach you a couple shots. Do you think you'd be willing to show us the shots?
Yeah, I can. Before we go into that though, there was something that came to mind. At that same camp out, I remember they brought the guy named Lily Megatron Sunshine.
Oh yeah. And
I remember him being like he was like a 5th order warrior at the time, I think, I'm not quite sure. But I remember he wasn't that much higher than I was, but he was just rolling everyone he fought. And I'm like, why? Why are you so good, but so low? And then I learned that different places have different fighters, and that really pushed me to be better, because I'm like, I don't want to be at the same order as this guy, but not be at the same skill level, because that really bugged me. So that was a big push that I had for getting better at fighting.
I'm glad you got that experience without having to do the traveling, which costs money.
Yeah.
Especially if we're going to go to I think they're from Texas.
Yeah.
So glad that you got to experience that, because sounds like it was a big motivator.
Yeah, he was a really cool dude too. I like him a lot. He probably has no idea who I am though.
Well, after this, he will.
Cool.
So, Critias has been nice enough to explain the 2 shots that he learned from Delos at the campout he was talking about, and I'm going to be the guy that he demonstrates against.
I may get the steps a tad wrong just because it's been so long since I've learned that I've kind of put my own spin on it. So if I get a few things wrong, I'm sorry, Delos. But I don't remember what they were called, but I know that the first one started with shield foot forward, hand down to the bottom like pommel, and you throw this. Obviously it's not going to hit anything. You take a step, choke up as you step, and throw for like a wrap. That was a very basic interpretation of it. Obviously he broke it down a lot better than I can, but there was that one, and then there was the opposite of that, which was same start, except when you take a step this way and choke up, you can come down. But that was pretty much it. There's a little more movement that I do with that now. Just because like I need to be mobile for myself or else I get sloppy. So I will like guide people a little bit and then, you know, come over. I don't often throw this opener actually very often, unless I'm trying to do other shots, which is kind of weird, but it's a good opener. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just I don't throw it for this shot. If I'm trying to do this wrap, I'll usually push this way, throw that. And if I'm trying to get down here, it's usually just the opposite of that, where this, come in. But yeah.
So you've integrated them into your fighting pretty well?
I think so, yeah. They were very, very helpful.
Since we're here and we're talking about shots, what is the shot that impressed you the most that you learned when you first started? Like, I need to learn that shot, and then you put the work in to learn that shot.
Honestly, it was my first like spin. I don't do it as like I don't break it down into steps like I used to, because that's how I learned things. I would like put it into steps and do that, but now I can just like smoothly do it, and it's just a basic spin of like starting this way, throwing that, and then coming back around. My absolute favorite shot though, that one I enjoy doing a lot, and it was the one that I was like, I need to learn that. But my absolute favorite one that I just love to throw on people is you step here, you twirl this, and you just drop it on the shoulder. It's so dumb, but it gets so many people, and I love it so much.
Well, thank you for showing us some of your most memorable shots. Back to the interview. So I'd like to thank our guest, Critias, for coming on to LARP Chats, and I hope I will catch you next time. Have a good day.